Yes.
Hi Pooja, how are you?
Yes. Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Pooja. Currently, I'm working in one MNC from last 2 years. So basically, in our organization, we follow agile methodology with Scrum framework. I will basically work on two projects. Mainly one is telecom billing project, in which I perform basically done manual testing. So in manual testing, regression testing, retesting, database testing, API testing, and currently I'm working on investment banking domain project. So in which I do manual as well as automation testing. So we do sprint wise delivery, and so that's it about myself.
Okay, great. So now I'll give you one scenario. Mm, okay. So this is a scenario-based question, right? There is an Amazon payment screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so this is an Amazon payment screen in which there is a debit card field. Now this debit card field accepts all the characters,
Yeah.
numeric, only alphabetic, right? But it does not accept special characters. Like these many
Hmm.
characters, it does not accept. Okay.
Okay.
Now the client came in with a new
Hmm.
requirement with some slight modification or with a new ticket, you can say. And they came up with this character, tilde character. It should not accept this tilde character as well, right? So can you tell me what would be the test scenarios for this field?
Basically, they came up with a requirement that they should accept this symbol, right?
It should not accept this tilde character as well. So earlier it was not accepting this six characters. Now they came up with a new requirement that it should not accept this character as well.
Hmm.
So can you tell me high level test scenarios? How will you test this particular?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, it accepts numeric character as well as character, but they don't accept only these characters, these three, and one also added in that requirement.
Yes.
So we have to check. First of all, we check for the positive scenarios. First of all, we can check for the positive scenarios, what is the maximum length of character? Does the text box accept? And what is the minimum length of characters it will accept? Does it accept the numeric characters as well as non-numeric characters? And we have to give negative scenarios for these characters, like does it accept all these characters or not, by giving only character, like all these are the seven characters, so you have to give at least one of them. This text box accept only one of these character or not. So otherwise too, then you can give boundary analysis, and you can give equivalence class partition, like only two characters or three
Okay.
characters,
Yeah.
all the characters.
Okay. So this thing was already been developed, implemented, and it is tested as well. Okay. This is, let's say, this is ticket number one, which has already been tested. Okay. You don't need to test it again. This is ticket
Mm.
number. You can say this is 1.1, which has already been tested. Now this is a new requirement 1.2, which has come up.
Yeah.
So will you test all these things for ticket number one again? Now this is your new requirement that it should not accept.
Basically, if yeah, new requirement, but yeah, but for the new requirement also we have to check with that these character also. We can specifically check for the new character also, but we
Yes,
have to
yes.
check up with that symbols also for that characters also,
Okay. So
because this is the new requirement. But if
yes, yes. Please go ahead.
yeah, you can solely check for the that character also, but you have to combine with the characters also, numeric characters also, and whether it accept for with the numeric one two three for the numeric keys, or the characters, or even we check the first condition, but we
Uh-huh.
have to check with that character also, with their Sorry, I have like a light outage.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we have to check with that, like with that character also it accept or not.
Okay. Okay. So the very first important test scenario for you in this case would be that it should not take this particular character, right?
Yeah,
Do not accept the tilde character. Okay.
yeah, right.
That that would be the
Yes, right.
important scenario. And you can perform regression testing for
First,
other
yeah,
characters, but that would be the second priority for you.
yeah,
Okay, now
second,
let's say this,
yes.
yeah, now let's say this debit card field is there along with a tooltip option. And in the tooltip, they have mentioned it does not accept special characters so and so, right? Now, client came up with this particular update in a
Hmm.
requirement. It should not accept this tilde character also. Now, what would be your test scenarios?
Hmm. Like I'm not. I didn't get your question. Can you
Okay.
repeat?
Yeah, sure. Now, let's say this username field is common as it is, right? We also have a tooltip along with this field on this field that it
Hmm.
does not accept these special characters and with these all characters listed in it. Now client came with an update in a requirement that it should not accept tilde character,
Hmm.
right? Now what would be your test scenario?
Like the same thing now, because these characters we already covered, and we also added the test cases for the till character also.
Ah,
The same can be repeated for the same thing.
right.
Like because we are checking the same field, just a new character added in the requirement.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
can check with that, like we can check for this symbol,
Ah,
like whether it is affecting for other module or not.
okay. Now consider this particular field you had tested in sprint one. The tooltip got added in sprint two. Then what
Hmm.
would be your test scenario that you would be testing whether in the tooltip this particular character, tilde character is displayed or not, right? This is how you would be doing phase-wise testing, sprint-wise testing, right?
Hmm.
You are
Yeah.
following agile
Yeah.
methodology. In the sprint one, tooltip option was not there. So we didn't had any
Hmm.
test case for that. We just tested username and
Hmm.
this particular field. Now tooltip
Hmm.
option has come in the sprint two, or let's say of it's a separate.
Yeah.
So again, we will have to test whether in the tooltip also it should display same character that it
Yeah.
not accept special character, right? Okay. Now let's come to the second
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you are playing songs in Amazon Prime Music web application, right? It is working fine. You are able to play all kind
Hmm.
of songs, Bollywood, Hollywood, pop up, everything. But when you are trying to play same songs in mobile application of Amazon, right? It is not, you're not able to play those particular songs. Those songs are not getting played. So how will you debug this scenario?
Hmm. Basically, I will check whether the internet is good or not, like whether the internet is affecting in the mobile quality or the whatever quality is playing in the web application. Why, what is the main issue we are facing in the mobile application
Mhm.
while playing the songs? And we- uh, basically, I have never done like mobile app testing. That's why I'm
Okay.
not able to come with the scenarios for the mobile
No
application.
issues. No issues. See, it might
So
happen when you are going for a real-time interviews, then you might get some kind of questions related to mobile testing because they might be having some kind of mobile applications which they are going to develop. So what you can say
yeah,
that I haven't got an opportunity to do mobile testing till now, but yes,
yeah, and
I,
one more,
yeah, yes, please go ahead.
yeah. So we can check which player we are using in our mobile phone. That's why is it affecting because of player or whether it is affecting because of the mobile app it's not good, or whether it has bugs, or like in the mobile application whether it has bugs or not. So these also we can check.
Yes, yes. Okay. Any other scenario that is coming to your mind?
Okay, let me think. No.
Okay. Now, in a real-time interview, if you are getting questions about mobile testing, but you haven't got an opportunity to, so you can tell them upfront that I haven't got an opportunity to do mobile testing till now, but yes, I would love to do it. And let me just try to come up with few scenarios over here in this interview so that, and then you can help me,
Hmm.
you can guide me with any scenarios if I'm missing. Okay, so this will be kind of a win-win situation for you. You are telling them that you are answering, but at the same time you are also telling them that you might go wrong, so they don't, they can handle that situation accordingly.
Yeah.
So they would like that actually she is trying to give the answer even though she hasn't
Hmm.
got an opportunity. Okay, now
Yeah.
how will you debug this scenario? So the very first thing over here is you can identify if the songs are not getting played when another application is active. For example, you are playing some Ludo game, or you are playing some sort of another game application, or you are already getting some phone calls or text messages or WhatsApp call. At that time, the music is not getting played, or it is every time it is not getting played. Secondly, you can identify that you would have created some playlist, right? Maybe of some 10 songs, 20 songs. And in that sequence of songs, maybe after fifth song or after eighth song, it is getting stopped, or is it getting stopped from the first song itself? Another thing you can also identify is if you have already logged in into some particular another mobile app, then is that creating an issue? Maybe one account and there is multiple
Hmm.
devices. Is that creating an issue, right? Maybe some security kind of issue it might be getting created. Another option is another scenario over here which you can debug is maybe you can identify during daytime or during nighttime, or is it particular during some time duration that it is not getting played, right? So those kind of scenarios you can identify over here. Then one more thing that you can identify is you can try to identify is, let's say if you are trying to play some kind of songs on Android specific version and then they are not getting played, part of compatibility testing, right? But in
Yeah.
iOS they are getting played, in iPhone they are getting played, but in Android
Yeah.
some particular
Yeah.
version they are not getting played. So those kind of things you can debug, right?
Hmm.
Then one more scenario you can identify is, let's say sometimes what happens is whenever the mobile charge, the mobile battery reduces to less than 15%, at that time it is getting stuck. Maybe in your mobile there would be kind of a security, then when your applications, when your charging reduces to less than or equal to 15%, then few of the applications should stop just to save the battery time, right? So that can be one of the reasons. So this is how you will debug this particular scenario. Okay, you're getting it.
Yes, yes, sure.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Now you are working in a team, right? There are four members along with you who are working. So you have a team
Yeah.
of five QA team members, right? Now in your project, a new website is going to get launched. So how will you test its stress?
Yeah.
So how will you perform stress testing for this application? How will you perform stress
Basically,
testing?
we will check
Yeah.
first of all. We will launch the
Please.
basically we will check first of all the whatever website. whatever build has came to our side, whether we are able to open that URL. First of all, we will check that. And for stress testing, we will first of all check that how many users will it take, like how many users, like suppose let's say 100, like it has a capacity of 100 users. Then we will check that is a load 100 users, it is a load it will take. And then we will check stress for whether it is accepting 101 like users, like we are stressing that website, like we are moving like load to stress, like whether the capacity is 100 but we are giving more than 100 users. We are checking whether the website is capable, whatever the users more than 100 are able to view or use, can use that website.
Right, right. So with respect to users, you will be performing stress testing. Then,
Yeah.
okay,
Then we can check the data, like whether whenever a user is using that website, they can access, download whatever the interaction is going to websites. So
mm,
like we can check like how much data it will access between the two-way communication. So basically we can check that also regarding data, like
okay,
how much data will it get transferred from system, like from website to user or user to website.
yes, right. Then,
Then we will check for that mobile also. Basically the user will differ from mobile to like whatever people are using on mobile, tablet or on cell phone. So we can check according to that, like how many users, whether it is getting only like more than 100 users for mobile or only for web or total, in total, like mobile, tablet or cell phone. So we can check that also, like
mhm,
regarding stress testing.
yes, yes.
Then other things, yeah, that's all I can think.
Okay, no worries. So see, when it comes to users, then you also have to cover the users with various roles and permissions. For example, in user,
Yeah,
there is one
roles
kind
and
of
permissions.
administration user who is able to access all the pages. So you can test
Admin.
with 101 or
Yeah,
users beyond the limit for all those roles and permissions of admin user. Then
yeah,
you can test
yeah,
for non-admin user. Then you can test with some kind of agent user, user with limited permissions, user with having permissions on some two pages only, two screens
hmm.
or three screens. Like that you can test. At the time of data testing, you can also check the backend testing in the database whether all those records have been saved properly or not. For
Yeah,
example, in front end, you are getting confirmation message that it is successfully saved, but whether it is actually going into the database and into those kind of tables and adding values in that.
yeah, yeah.
Mobile applications is good, like device related testing you will cover, right? And how many devices you are actually able to launch that particular website. So this is fine. Okay, fine. So which is the programming language that you are comfortable with? You have recently started automation, right?
Yeah, Java.
Java. So can you tell us something about the automation framework in which you are working?
Basically, we are using data-driven framework and TestNG for testing purpose, and Maven as a build automation tool. And for like we get data through Excel. For that, we get data through Excel, and we have Git as a central repository. We have master code and the on that, and we take copy through a copy of that git master code like a local branch, and we edit through that, and we whatever changes we have done, we commit those and push them on on git.
Okay. Okay. So what is the difference between git push and git pull?
We I don't have much knowledge about git commands because we use eclipse tool, and through my role is we directly commit and push, and after those all the activities has been covered by the team leader.
Right. So you perform push, right? You commit your code and then you do the push. You push your code into the server,
Yeah,
right? From
only
your
push.
local machine to server.
Only push.
Right. So you are not
Yeah, right.
you are not using pull command.
Directly we can pull from the main server also.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the difference between git pull and git push?
Basically, the push means we have to do we have done some changes. Then at the time, when you want to push those changes into that code, we do push. And when you want to pull any code, if you want to copy or take any code, then at that time you can pull that code.
Okay. Okay. So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. What is the difference between git push and git pull? Okay. Okay. Fine. Now, let's say you have made some changes in your local repository, in your local code, right? Now you want to discard unstaged changes in the Git. So how will you do that?
No idea. I haven't worked on much
Okay,
no idea.
fine. So, so if you are using Git version before prior to 2.23, right, then you can also use Git restore command. And if you are using latest versions, then you can also use Git checkout command over there. Right? So those things you can do.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now, let's say if you want to automate the Amazon search feature, right? There is a search feature in Amazon, right? With
Hmm.
some category. So let's say if you search for shirts, so those kind of categories will come. If you search for pencils, so accordingly category will come, stationery related category. So how will you validate that only those products with the category that you have searched are being displayed? How will you automate this scenario of Amazon search feature?
Basically, we can find we can locate that by using locator. By we can find that search box by using locators XPath, and we can find that IIT, and whatever you want to search, those also, and we can you want to compare, right?
Yes, you want to validate. I would like to validate whether the the search that has come is pertaining to the category that you have searched.
Right or no?
Yes.
Yeah, basically we can check the title whenever you click on any page, like any link, it will jump onto the next page. Then we can get the title of that current page, and we can store it in a string, and we can use assertion at that time, whether whatever the string title is matching with the expected title. Then we can at that time we can check that text is passed or failed.
So let's say you took one category of shirt, and when you search shirt in that category field, you will validate whether these particular fields are displayed or not. So like this, so many data would be there with you. So how will you validate for all the categories? What approach you will take? Because there will be numerous data with you, right? There will be lots of
Uh,
permutation and combination, right?
Basically, I have to check whether I have selected or whether the particular tab is displayed or not.
Yes. So
So there are different methods in select class, like is displayed, is selected. So I can
yes. So we can actually use is selected and all those things. So that is a part of coding, definitely, that you will have, right? But what about the validation part? How will you take care of so many data, so many permutations and combinations? Are you getting it? Okay. So you can use an Excel file. You can
no
create one.
I think I have issue my internet.
Okay, you have some issue with the internet. Am I audible now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Okay. So you can take one Excel file. In Excel file, you can create various data like for different categories, right? And as you are already working in the data-driven framework, so you can take all those values and you can create one kind of a table or one kind of a, you can also create variables. And then you can run a loop of different kind of categories. You can run a loop with a list variable with different kind of categories, and then you can assert whether all the expected values are matching with the actual values or not, right? So loop along with list variable, and you will be taking data from an Excel file or CSV file, whichever you are comfortable with, right? So this is how you should take approach for this particular framework, this particular problem. Okay. Now, can you write one Java program to find out if particular triangle is an isosceles triangle or equilateral or scalene triangle? Can you write a Java program for
I'm
that?
not very good with Java program. Basically, I am not prepared.
Okay, okay, no worries. So in a real-time interview, you might get this question, right, on Java program, especially when you are doing a task or you are having a role of manual plus automation. So you will have to be ready with the Java programming questions as well,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. Can you tell me the high level debugging? How will you do when, let's say, you are using Skype application, right? But you are not able to do a video chat. So how will you debug this problem? Now you need to consider various aspects of functional and non-functional testing over here. So how will you debug this kind of scenario? Should
Basically, I will check whether I will check whether I am able to view basically video feature is not visible. So I will check in mobile as well as with whether I am unable to view a video of mine or others also. Basically, I will check those testing in mobile as well as desktop. I will also check whether I am unable to view while in a group call or a single call, basically one-to-one call. So basically, I will check again. I will check whether the video is getting discontinued while in between the call, or whenever I am dialing someone's number, or in between the call or the end of the call. So I will check all this scenario for the mobile as well as web application. So I will also check whether mobile option is not clickable or a clickable, whether I'm getting a problem with that particular tab, whether it is enabled or disabled. So I will also check that.
okay, any other scenario that is coming to your mind?
Basically, I also check whether whenever I am receiving any call, whether I am unable to click on that particular video button, or I'm able to view others video as well or not. And whenever we are in group call, I will also check whether I am unable to view everyone's video, or some particular people's videos are missing in that particular scenario.
Okay. So, Pooja, I'm done with the interview.
And
Do you have
it
any
will be a
questions?
pro- like a it,
Yes. Yes, Pooja, you were telling something.
Basically, yeah, and basically I will also check whether the problem with my configuration, whether my device is not compatible with that application, or like whether like others whether version problem or device problem, some problems will be there. So I will also check that.
Right. Then you can also consider the various kind of networking networks. You can check 2G, 3G, 4G network when you are having
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
network.
hotspot. So at that time the video is not working, or
Yeah, you have to check.
scenarios. With respect to devices, you can check, right? So these are good scenarios, Pooja. Okay, Pooja, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No,
Okay. So thank you so much, Pooja, for joining today. It was nice talking to you, and all the best for your career.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.